Ian Hargreaves, you were a match reporter at Hillsborough for the Daily Post and Echo.
Yes, that's
Tell us
correct.
your overriding memory of a tragic day.
Very sad, obviously. Before the game, I had not realised there was a serious problem, although I'd been at Hillsborough before and seen it surprising how long people hung about outside before they came down the very narrow streets to get to the ground. And on this occasion, I was in beforehand.
What did you see from inside the ground? Did you see people being crushed? Could you tell that there was a serious problem? You were in the press box, of course.
Initially, I'm just trying to remember with difficulty where I was watching. But I was watching from, I think it was the press box. And you look across and see people coming in and problems, but you can't see a great deal of detail about them, of course.
And you asked not to cover football matches anymore. It hit you that hard, Ian?
It did. I came back and saw the actual coverage over at the time. But I then went to the editor and said I would prefer to be covering something else on a Saturday, not one of the two major football matches, but didn't mind doing a game for them if it was really needed. And the editor very kindly said, yes, that's fine. And so after that, I did go to the games occasionally, but not very often. And in any case, after Hillsborough, I was up to nearly 60, so I had about 5 years to go. And I used to concentrate on doing feature games and features generally before the match.
But it put you off attending football matches?
It did. It's rather horrifying when you see people being carted out dead.
You obviously were in the crowd and with the other journalists watching as fans tried to help other fans who were dead, dying or injured. What was the sense at that time? Can you recall what you felt as journalists inside the ground? I
think it was more of shock than anything else. You didn't see as much as you would have liked because you were in a separate part of the ground, obviously a press box or something. And if there was one thing that the police and the organiser wanted to do was keep people in their own sections so that they didn't want you to be wandering around or anything. And when the police move into an area to get people out, they obviously don't want anybody else getting in the way. So it was very difficult. And it's probably too, I don't remember it as well as I perhaps should do. It wasn't, it was unpleasant, very, and sad of course too.
Yeah. It's not what should happen at a football match. It was a semi-final day. Everton were playing in another semi-final, of course, at Villa Park that day.
Yes.
Liverpool and Everton, two great sides at that time in the 80s, weren't they, of course? Two
yes,
successful sides. Hard to believe that what should have been a happy occasion, with a great sense of anticipation surrounding it, no doubt, turned into such a tragedy, isn't it?
Yes, very much so. It really was awful. It's well, you have a look. I mean, particularly with Hillsborough, when you got the best part of 100 people dying, and quite a lot of other people pretty badly hurt. It does give you one tremendous shock. I've never seen anything like it anywhere.